It's the 24th of January and it is the Yonaki Yona Nedbank Cup weekend, last 32. But on this episode, we're actually not talking about the Nedbank fixtures, but all about the only signing that the club has announced. And I'm talking about Jayden Adams. I do go by the name of Consolidating Football. We're engaged in discussing anything to do football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. We are just left with 4 days before the end of this transfer window. Yes, there are some players that have landed from countries. Some are coming back from loan. Some are signed as loanees. We believe that they are already at clock up, but the only signing that the club has made official is the one of Jayden Adams, born in 2001. The player also was, let's say, developed by Ajax Cape Town from the ages of 10, 11, 12. He was there, and at some point, eventually joining Stellenbosch FC. He is a quality player, but the question everyone would be asking is, was he a needed signing for a Mamelodi Sundowns that has got quality in that midfield? And clearly, if he signed, maybe there are players that will make room for a Jayden Adams. We have heard over some days that Lebo Maboe, I like the guy. I mean, the guy came to Mamelodi Sundowns 2018 while Sir Dr. Peter Musiman was still at Sundowns, and he was primarily signed as an attacking forward. But over the years, being hampered with injuries, he had to also because he's an all-rounder, he's a quality player. We've seen him play as a holding midfielder, as a number 8 box to box. We've seen him even feature in that right back position. He is a versatile player. But over the past days, we've heard rumors that he is now being linked with Sekhukhune United, and it will not come as a shocker if indeed Lebo leaves Mamelodi Sundowns, whether on loan or permanent, and goes to Sekhukhune United, having also allowed Sekhukhune United to take one of their signings in a Siphelele. So if Lebo leaves Sundowns to go to Sekhukhune United, it will be probably a win-win situation, because Lebo hasn't seen a lot of game time. This is not to say he's been overlooked by coaches, because we've seen him or seen his faces a lot in the game day squads and featuring in the bench. So, and also getting some minutes coming from the bench. So now coming back to a Jayden Adams, he is coming to a midfield that is packed. I mean, packed. You have a Tebogo Mokoena who can play as a 6, can also play as an 8. You have a Batusi Obas who can play at the back. He can play, we see him at one of the games playing as a right back. He was signed primarily as a defensive midfielder. You have a Siphelele Mkhulise that we've been, waiting to see him rise. But whenever it appears like he's getting to that level where he's going to break the ceiling, he gets injured and we forget about him for another 6 weeks or a month, and he comes back. It's almost like he has to start from kindergarten again with the coach, because someone else who took his position is doing well. We have a Maema who did extremely well in that that 4-4-2, that diamond form in the middle that Erlone Mokoena came with when he took over in that October. Lebo Maboe, who was so excellent in that 8-8 with him, and a Marcelo Allende at number 10, Mshishi number 6, Tebogo Mokoena. He played so well in that system and the following season the system was changed. It went back to chameleon football, where it was almost like a 2-2-2-2-2, 3 or 4 up front. So he was one of the players, together with the Siphelele, that suffered a lot with the change of system. He's one of the midfielders that he can play as an attacking forward, he can play as an 8, he can play as a winger as well. He can also fit in the role of a number 10. He's still a quality player. He too has not seen a lot of game time this season. Someone who has seen a lot of game time under Miguel Cardoso, starting some games, is Siphelele Mkhulise. Allende is just quality. I mean, we all know what you have with an Allende, and these are some of the names I'm just mentioning in that midfield. Now, you are signing a Jayden Adams, who in his team was playing primarily as a box-to-box midfield, but he can also play behind the attackers in the 10 role. But the nice thing about the Jayden Adams is that he can score, he can create goals, and he can stop goals. He's got the engine to bomb up and down. That is why I'm more comfortable with a Jayden Adams playing in that role of similar to like an Allende. But this is what I think. What you don't get with a Marcelo Allende, you get plenty of with a Jayden Adams. You don't get a lot of goals with a Marcelo. You don't get a lot of assists with a Marcelo. But if you look at Jayden Adams, he's got the ability to carry the ball with him. He's got a whole lot of assists for Stellenbosch, and he'll be playing with better quality players at Mamelodi Sundowns as compared to Stellenbosch. If you have to compare Nduli with a Teboho Mokoena, you know the answer to this. If you have to go compare Al Jabbar to Marcelo Allende, you know the answer to that. So he's coming to players who are more experienced, more exposed. The quality is definitely higher than that of a Stellenbosch. So you'll get more with a Jayden Adams than you would with a Marcelo Allende. That is why I'm convinced with the system that Miguel Cardoso has been employing, you know, that 4-3-3 with a Teboho Mokoena, Marcelo Allende, and Mkhulise, and then you're gonna have a Ribeiro, Siphelele, and a Renas up front. I'm convinced that a Jayden Adams will most probably eat Mkhulise's lunch. He will definitely fit in assisting Allende and Teboho Mokoena. He is definitely going to be starting games, and I'm convinced that he'll probably start this weekend's game, where a whole lot of Sundowns players would be or should be rested because of the team they're playing against. They're playing some mine team, Sibanye, from the Free State, who will definitely go all out to do an upset against Mamelodi Sundowns. But that's the role I'm assuming that a Jayden Adams will be bringing to Mamelodi Sundowns. He can score goals, he can create goals, and he can stop goals, in that he's a box-to-box midfielder. If he is called upon to defend, he will show up his face there. He's got the ability also, very good on the ball. I mean, Jayden Adams is very good on the ball. He's got the ability to receive the ball with his back. Receive the ball facing his goalkeeper and have the ability to turn and look for his teammates. And not a lot of midfielders are comfortable on the ball in small teams. And when you get such a player in a Stellenbosch, that's a rare quality. And I believe that he is going to fit and settle. I don't want to say easy at Mamelodi Sundowns, because he is used to your Renas, your Teboho Mokoena, your Grand Kekana, some of the guys he played with at Bafana level. I believe this is a quality player that Mamelodi Sundowns have signed, but on the flip side, I also am convinced that Mamelodi Sundowns should release some players that clearly they won't be used moving forward. Like example, Lebo, if there's an interest in Lebo, whether as a loan or permanent, release the player, let him go and get some game time elsewhere. Now Maema has really battled in cracking into that first 11, but as for Jayden Adams, I'm convinced this is the team for him, and he'll be playing with the proper quality in that midfield where he will also feature a lot of times. I think he's going to be a big player for Mamelodi Sundowns going into the next phase of Champions League, that knockout stages. He was playing CAF Confederations Cup. I believe the bit of experience he has gotten there, he's also bringing it with him at Champions League level, and it's really exciting times. You do support this channel and this platform by liking the video. Just liking it is so important. Some would argue to say that liking the video is more important than subscribing, but you do support the channel by further going on to subscribe to the channel, by commenting on the subject matter, and watching the ads and sharing the content on all of your socials. Now let me end it there by declaring, may my God bless you all.